Welcome, sixth graders. Welcome to your first week art project. And we're going to be drawing some op art this week. And so we're going to get started right away. So I'm going to first show you some pictures. All right, so if you guys look at your screen right now, it says op art, art that plays with how you see. And op art is short for optical art. It was developed in the 1960s, and artists used it to play around with how you see things. Sometimes the art would make you kind of dizzy. Sometimes it would look like things were swirling around or moving. And it usually had really strong contrast and was often very geometric. So if you look at this first picture right here, this is actually a student work. And if you look at it, number one, you see the geometric shapes, the straight sides, the circles, triangles, squares, and then you see strong contrast. So contrast means that there's a strong difference between two opposite elements. And here you can see the white and the black. One is very light, one is very dark. This is another piece of op art, and it kind of makes it look like you're twisting and curving around. It's kind of like going back in a tunnel, and it also has strong contrast and geometric shapes. So contrast, if you can see here, it says contrast is being strikingly different from something else in close association. It has opposites, things like light and dark, rough and smooth, shiny and dull. And so normally you will see a lot of really light and really dark in op art. And then the other thing that op art uses a lot of is contour. Okay, contour means there is something that follows an outline or a shape. Okay, and so a lot of times you'll see lines that curve around something, so it makes it look like it curves, or you'll see it kind of angled back, so it looks like it's going back into space. So it's following the shape of something. So if you look at this picture right here, the artist used these lines coming from the outside edges, and they start thick, then they get thinner, and then they get thick, and then they get thinner, but they're still getting smaller as you go in towards the center. But every time they kind of hit a certain point, they curve, okay? And it creates this feeling of kind of, it's undulating. There's kind of like waves of lines, and it kind of feels like it's moving a little bit. And this, you see a checkerboard pattern, but where you have the circles, the checkerboard pattern changes. And then on the sides, it looks like you're kind of like in a tunnel going back. That's because the lines are angled back and they get closer together as the further they go back. It's kind of an illusion. So this is the first project we're going to do. And if you look at this project, we're going to be tracing our hands and then drawing contour lines across our paper. They're going to be going straight across your paper. But when they get to your hand, they're going to curve. Now you can do it in black and white if you just have pencil or marker or like a black marker at home. Or, and this is how we start it, or you can also do it in color. Okay, and I'll have some different options for you. So the example that I'm going to actually show you, I'm going to start it in black and white, and then I'm going to add some color for you. All right, so for this project, you're going to need a piece of white paper. You're going to need a pencil. I like to have an extra eraser around, but my pencil has an eraser. And you're going to need a ruler, or if you don't have a ruler, you're going to need something with a straight edge, like a textbook or something that you can trace the edge of and it'll be straight, okay? And then later, after you get done drawing, you're probably going to want to have some markers or something to add some color to your picture. Now, if you want to just keep yours in black and white, that's perfectly fine. I will show you guys how to do this. So the first step to making your op art hand is to trace your hand on the center of your paper. So you're going to lay your hand on the center of your paper, and then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to hold the pencil straight up and down. You want to hold it straight up and down. You don't want to angle it like this, or you can push your pencil underneath your hand and they'll make everything skinnier. So you want to hold it straight up and down, and then you're going to hold it and trace along the outline of your hand, nice and carefully. Try not to move your hand. And you want to keep your pencil straight up and down. Go all the way around the contour of your hand, the shape of your hand. And then you're going to go right off the edge of your paper where your wrist is. So I'm going to go right down, right off of the edge of my paper down here. Okay, so just to show you at the bottom, it goes right, the lines go right off the edge of my paper. Okay, if you can see that. And go like that. Okay, now that's step one, is to trace your hand. Step two is to draw lines across your paper. So you're going to put your ruler on your paper, and then you're going to draw horizontal lines, lines from side to side. So you want your lines to be pretty straight. So sometimes what I like to do is I'll put the edge, the very edge of my ruler right here, and line it up to the edge of my paper so that I know it's going straight, that it's not like curved or angled like this, like Kitty Wampus. So I'll put one edge of my ruler right along the edge of my paper because I know my paper is straight on that side. And I'm going to draw a series of lines. I'm going to make them straight. I'm going to draw it until I hit the hand, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to continue on the other side. And I'm going to try to draw these nice and dark. And I'm going to go down here. You don't have to measure exactly in between these, but you want to make them like ½ inch apart. Okay, you could even make more. If you wanted to make more in between there, I could do this and make the section smaller, but I'm going to keep working my way up, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this because I'm going to be adding color to this. Oops. So I'm going to keep going and kind of fast forward through the picture a little bit, and I'll have you guys start tracing your hand, and you guys can start making your lines, and you can kind of follow along with me. If you need to pause the video, you can do that so you can keep up with me. Okay, so now I've drawn all these horizontal lines from side to side, and I've stopped and I've started wherever I hit the hand, so I haven't gone across the hand. And now what I'm going to do is wherever the line hits the hand, so right down here on the bottom, wherever the line hits the hand, I'm going to make a curve over the hand, and I want to start it and I want to stop it at the same line on the sides. So I might make this, I'm going to go a little closer here so you can see this. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to, where this line hits it, I'm now going to curve up and then make sure it ends right where it hits the line over here. Okay, and then I'm going to work my way up the hand. So the same thing here. And I always stop it and start it where it hits that straight line over there. So right here it starts one, and I make the curve. I try to make my curves about the same, kind of as much up as you can, but they're not all going to match exactly. You're following the contour of the hand, just like your hand is rounded. Okay, you're going to be kind of curving it over the hand. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. You can watch me. I'll fast forward it, and you can start on yours. And you're just first doing this in pencil. Now where you hit like a finger and then it stopped, and I think that I might have forgotten a line here. So I think I did. Right there in between the thumb and the hand right there. I forgot that little bit of a line right there. But where this stops and starts at the thumb, I'm going to curve it up and then stop right here. And then I'm going to come over here where it starts in the hand, and I'm going to curve it up and have it go over here. Okay, so you might not see that one at all. This one is going to be like this. Then when you get to this finger, it's going to curve over the finger and kind of end right there. Then it's going to be another curve, then another curve, and then another curve. Okay, so wherever you have to start and stop when you have the spaces in between the fingers. Okay, so out a little bit so you can see this. So now you can see the contour of my hand. Now what's going to make this look a lot better is if we outline this with black marker and we add more lines. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline mine with black marker, and then I'm going to use colored markers, different colors of markers, to make the colors in between, kind of a rainbow in between. So I'm going to start doing this. You can watch me and I'll fast forward it, and then you can work on yours. Okay, so now I've got the black outlines done, and you notice I haven't outlined the hand, okay, because we're not going to outline the hand because we're going to let our curved lines kind of show us where the hand is. Those contour lines are kind of showing us where the hand is. Now what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to fill in between all the black lines with my different colors, and I'm just going to, let's say I pick red, I'll go here a straight across red, and then I'll curve it, and then I'll keep going across. Then I might do another color, curve it, and go across. So as I work on this, I will fast forward it, and you can work on your own and follow along. So I have finished my rainbow colors, and everywhere I still had my hand, I curved around the hand, and then I would go straight. Once I got up to the very tip top of my picture, I was just going straight across. Now I use kind of a rainbow pattern, but you know what? You guys can use whatever colors you want. You could keep it black and white and make tons of different lines on here. But what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line straight across your hand all the way from one side to the other, stop and start at the hand, and then you're going to add in the curved lines, outline them in black, and then fill in the areas, the rest of the areas, with either black and white lines or colored lines. You can pick 2 or 3 colors, or you can use every color. And I'd like to see what you guys come up with to make your op art hands.